Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, you're listening to World Combat Sports. If you don't know, now you know. It's another catchweight episode, 721 in the building. And you know what it is? The boxing gods have spoken. The hierarchy has blessed us with a classic. Hey, even though it's an exhibition bout, I don't care. You know why I don't care? Because we getting something to wake up this 2019 boxing lineup that we have. You know what I'm saying? You can't knock the legends when they want to return at the right time when we in a funk. You know what I'm saying? Hearing this matchup kind of clear up the weather. You know what I mean? This kind of clears up the funk that we've been in, a little cloudiness that's been going on with these fight cards. And I know next month, we got PBC jumping on deck. But let's talk about this Roy Jones Jr. versus Mike Tyson in Carson, California, y'all. What y'all think about that? Roy Jones 66-9, I believe 47 knockouts, and Mike Tyson 50-6, 44 knockouts, man. And Mike Tyson last opponents was Danny Williams in 04 and Kevin McBride in 05. So check this out. Roy Jones Jr. in 17, I believe he fought a guy by the name of Billy Gunn, undefeated bare knuckles. You know what I'm saying? And then in 2018, I think it was Scott Simon. So that was the last time. So if you're looking at the range of the years back from when Mike Tyson fought versus Roy Jones, Mike Tyson been out the ring much longer. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the queen herself, Denise Ward in the building. Salute to you. Say good evening, hallelujah to boxing. Yeah, for sure, right? You know what I'm saying? Hallelujah, clap, clap. Give your testimony, shit. I'm happy to see this fight, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. But Roy Jones was able to get, some victories in his last outing. Mike Tyson had 2 losses back in 04-05, which none of that really means anything because both of these fighters are headed back. They've been idle. Mike Tyson much longer than Roy Jones. But if you're looking at the damn promo, when it comes to hitting the mitts and all that, Mike Tyson, he kind of had the edge on that because he had a great cameraman. They was able to get the right angles, and it looked like Mike Tyson was a fighter of old. He looked like a beast. The way he was hitting that mitts, I was like, my stomach started hurting. I was like, shit, let me go drink some water. It looked like Mike Tyson had the same damn quickness. He can shift on the dime, rotate his hips, land some solid beast mode punches, man, that made some fighters probably throw up after the fight. And he looked that way in his promo. We all know. Come on now. We all know what it is. Like, it was a good promo, but from what I'm hearing about him and Roy Jones, man, they're going 8 rounds exhibition September 19th. September 12th. September 12th. In California, 8 rounds exhibition. And this will be, from my understanding, without any headgear and with 12-ounce gloves. So that's a good point. It's good they're not going 10 ounce. You know what I'm saying? But they're going 12-ounce gloves. No headgear. So, let me know what y'all think about that, man. Who is your favorite out of these two stepping back in the ring? 2 legends. Legend versus legend. Absolutely no doubt about it. No doubt about it. It wakes up the boxing world because we was up here looking at top ranked cards. And I'm not saying they was absolutely horrendous. I'm not saying that shit. But it's good to see, finally, with all the speculation, that Roy Jones and Mike Tyson will face off in the square in an exhibition bout. I don't give a damn what people are downplaying as an exhibition. This is going to be good. You know why is it going to be good? Because a lot of people have their own rumor mill about, Roy Jones was offered this amount of money back in the day to fight Mike Tyson and he turned it down or whatever the case. Both of these fighters at this point in their lifetime are more mature. They're much older and their names still hold value to boxing. Both of them. They still have that value. You know what I'm saying? They have that catch, that eye catcher when you put both of them together. You say, "What? Mike Tyson, Roy Jones?" I'm real happy to know that it's not Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield just yet. With Roy Jones, it may be a little less trash talking, because Mike Tyson, he's a big heavyweight. Mike Tyson's always been known for having a tree trunk neck and legs, compact. And of course, he carried tremendous amount of power. Roy Jones back in the day used to be agile. Man, his quickness was unfucking believable. And the way he was able to make guys miss and counter, it was just a phenomenal, bout to watch with Roy Jones Jr. I mean, he was quick, very quick. Mike Tyson was quick in his own way, and he loves to be right there in your space, making you uncomfortable, putting that fear of God in your motherfucking heart. That's what Mike Tyson did. And, I've seen Mike Tyson smoking on, the hot boxing and shit. And I'm thinking to myself, I was like, okay, Mike Tyson, he's back in the gym. He's training. And every time I seen him on the hot box, he was cool, calm, sung Freud, carefree, you know what I'm saying? But I know he couldn't be smoking when he's still in training camp. Like, I know this is exhibition, but he's done lost tremendous amount of weight. He looking good. He looking like he's physically fit, ready to go. So we know and heard what marijuana does. It calms people down sometimes. So now that the marijuana may be filtering out Mike Tyson's system, will he have a flashback and forget it's an exhibition bout? You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's seen calm as shit hot boxing. But I'm just curious to know, will we see a flashback of Mike Tyson? You know what I'm saying? Since he's cleansing his body, he's back in the gym, he's putting in the work. He's looking extremely good for 54 years old, y'all. Dude was coming out here, damn near had like a baby six-pack going on. I don't know, man. But I have to look at Roy Jones too, right? Just leaving Pensacola, you always go off your instinct, man. And I heard rumor mill that Roy was gonna step back in there. And on the interview, man, I asked him. I knew he was stepping back in the ring sometime, but I just couldn't get that nugget when I was interviewing him. But for what I can say about Roy Jones is that he looked in great shape. You can tell he was in great shape. He was in the ring, he was wearing a t-shirt. You can tell the man was in shape, So I know for a fact, both of these fighters, these legends have known for quite some time. They just didn't pop it out there that, we're going to sign to fight one another. And they haven't been getting in some type of shape. The fight is just over a month away. So they had awareness. They was trying to get that money right, do the table talks and everything else. What's good, D Hodges? Salute. What's good with you? I'm really looking forward to seeing these two get back in the square and give a little bit of that old classic, stage show that we used to watch in the gentleman's sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? Two bona fide, legitimate, validated legends. We definitely want to see them back in that motherfucker, man. So what is going to happen? For one, I can tell that it's going to be much more respect than what they would have had for each other if they would have stepped in a while ago. It would have been, it's going to be definitely much more respect when it comes down to it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So when we take a peek at why this fight is taking place, I think one process comes to mind, right? Boxing needs a Mike Tyson, Roy Jones right now. They need it. They need this particular fight right now to wake it up. And it's right. Look, it's right at the beginning, of the back end of this calendar year. It's right at the beginning because we had a rough patch, with COVID and everything on the first half of this semester of 2020. So they coming in my opinion, they're coming in at the right time. At the second semester, when boxing is getting into rotation, now we have Top Rank on deck. We're going to be bleeding over into PBC and Matchroom. But in between that, at the first part of September, we have Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. on deck. And we absolutely need that shit. I believe wholeheartedly it should be PPV. It should. People come on here and say what the hell they want. But this particular fight should indeed be PPV. Get the money. If we're locked, look, if fighters are locked down from finding an arena to have a gate and a gathering, even though Davenport, Iowa just had Michael second to none and Pat Miletich, former welterweight UFC champion, right? They did a kickboxing match where they had, I believe, close to 3,000 in attendance. They had 3,000 in attendance. And I really haven't heard anything negative about that gathering. You know what I'm saying? I heard positive stuff about it. I heard the winner was Michael Nunn. I see he's making his rounds. You know what I'm saying? He's going around doing some media. I definitely like to, have Michael Nunn on and talk, about how he's been, what he has going on, what's the projection of him stepping in, doing a kickboxing match. What else he's going to do? Are we going to see him in an exhibition bout, with somebody else? What we're looking at. But the good thing about it is he was able to get in the ring again after serving time for, I think he served 16 and a half years for drug trafficking. That's amazing, isn't it? Like, for a fighter to be on top of the world the way he is, and then to come back and be able to step in the ring. But when I got the news, outside of the PBC card that we talked about the other day, I was like, yes. I was just a little bit disappointed that I knew when I was down in Pensacola that he was stepping into the ring. And it would have been great to get the news, but for whatever reason, right, they might have not been absolute, seal the deal on all the negotiation process, business-wise, to put the word out there yet. But if you listen to the interview, Roy Jones did say, wait to the end of the week, I believe, or the next week, and there's going to be some news coming out. He did put that out there. So this was probably the news that was coming out, that he was facing Mike Tyson. And I ain't gonna lie, it would be great to be on deck for that one. Man, I can already assume who's gonna be on deck. You're gonna see all these media platforms that you haven't seen in a good minute. They're gonna make some exceptions, so to speak, for some of the platforms that's quote unquote has the numbers, and they're gonna invite them. I believe so. They're gonna invite them, to get the pictures out there and everything else. It's good. It's good. You know what I'm saying? I don't blame them, but I would definitely like to be in California in September, so I can snap some shots myself. That's real talk. I get the look. If I could get some shots, I have all the lenses. I got the glass to take it. I got the distance. You know what I'm saying? To take the picture. If I can get some pictures of Roy Jones and Mike Tyson, I'm done. I probably won't come back on this motherfucker for a month and a half, dog. I'd be here just clicking through the pictures, be like, God damn, I got that shit. Even with Mike Tyson, Holyfield, Mike Tyson, Deontay Wilder, if they wanted to give the people a little show, like I said earlier, and have Deontay Wilder show up instead of Mike Tyson's opponent for the exhibition, just so we can get the frame of Deontay Wilder in front of Mike Tyson in shape, both of them in shape, staring each other down. And then, Deontay leave, just to give the crowd a little bit of what if energy this ever was to happen, back in the day. And then he can go on and fight, exhibition bout, whoever. But man, Lens the moment with that shit. Oh my God. Joyner, what's good, man? Thanks for dropping in. But that'll be damn, that'll be lit. I'm not gonna lie. It'll be absolutely lit. Now, if you see my thumbnail, right? Hold on for a second. If you saw my thumbnail earlier, right? It had a side-by-side comparison, both fighters with their shirt off, showing that they are conditioned. They're getting ready. This is not going to just be no sloppy ass fight. Both of them are taking it serious. And, I think the PPV numbers are going to do pretty decent for two legends stepping back in the square, because there's some potential. There is a lot of potential in Mike Tyson and Roy Jones stepping back in there just with a little bit more in their reservoir to compete with one another. I know it's going to be some people that's leaning to the left or the right. They're going to say, well, they're too old to get back in the ring. They shouldn't be doing it. If they did, they should be wearing headgear, blah, blah, blah. And then it's going to be the other ones like myself. I'm going to be like, yeah, let them step back in the ring. They're not too far apart in age. You know what I'm saying? They have much more respect for one another as fighters coming out of retirement and everything, right? And I just think maturity-wise, being two legends in the game, where they at right now in their life, I don't think they're going to try to show out on one another. I do think it's going to be some moments where Tyson's going to flash the old school classic, you know what I'm saying, give you that heat just a little bit. And then I think Roy Jones is going to, do what Roy Jones do. He's going to try to shoot those counters, let you know that he's one of the best guys in the games with the hooks, and he might even show that he still got that timing down with his quickness. But as Roy Jones used to, have that quickness at a distance, Mike Tyson had that quickness and punishment up and close and personal, So both of them have their pluses and minuses back in the day as far as what elevated them, what we was used to seeing. Like, to be honest, Roy Jones has some of the best highlights out there right now. Roy Jones has incredible highlights. Mike Tyson has some highlights out there, no doubt about it. But I think Roy Jones has some of the best highlights out there in boxing right now. Hodges said Wilder going to be looking down on him. I predict 10 million. Okay. Hey, I think people are really going to tune in to see these two fight because their names still have value, people. You know what I'm saying? Their names still have value. Absolutely. So, whatever they're getting paid, I'm curious to know. It has to be no less. Look, no less than 2 million. No less per than 2 million. I'm serious. PPV, people going to pay to see it. Put it that way. People going to pay to see it. And it might be one of those destructive moves. Listen, I'm going to bring your boy back up. I'm going to bring your boy up. It might be one of those destructive moves that Floyd Mayweather did. You know what I'm saying? You remember when Floyd Mayweather had a PPV before, I believe who it was. Wasn't it De La Hoya was putting on a fight with Canelo and Triple G, and Floyd Mayweather held his fight before. So it basically forced boxing fans to pay twice. Like, Floyd is the ultimate genius when it comes to stepping in right in the line of fire, sucking up all the motherfucking revenue, and then knowing that he is basically taking food and taking monetary hors d'oeuvres off the plate of Oscar De La Hoya. He did that when he set that fight up. This is sort of what I see right now. I kind of see that, because if you don't know, in September we have the Charlos with the PPV. I'm not saying this has anything to do with the Charlos, but it's damn close to the PPVs that they have set up and the PPV that's going to be, hosted. And you probably saying to yourself, it's not even on the same network. It's just that, listen, boxing fans are boxing fans, people. They're going to freaking tune in to Roy Jones and Mike Tyson. And then the ones that's waiting for Charlo, if they did purchase that fight with Tyson and Jones, guess what? They're going to have to make a choice on whether they want to freaking see Charlo on the main and co-main event. I think Mike Tyson's going to win. Look, MMA champ. Yes, it's hard in this lifetime for people. Liz, I tell people all the time, it's hard for people to go against Mike Tyson. Even though he lost his last two fights, he's 50-6. Roy Jones has 9 losses. Roy Jones is 6-6-9, 47 knockouts. Mike Tyson has 44 knockouts. It's hard for people to stop remembering the destruction that Mike Tyson did in the heavyweight division. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's easy for people to say, I want to go by Mike Tyson because he's the bigger heavyweight and Roy Jones is going to be the lighter heavyweight. And plus they go back to, even though Roy Jones have some of the best highlights out here in boxing history, Mike Tyson has some of the most destructive highlights. Seriously. The stare down that Mike Tyson used to give his opponents, fighting in the street with Mitch Green, what I'm saying? I mean, fighting with Lennox Lewis. Man, come on. Mike Tyson didn't give a fuck, man. Biting off of Vander Holyfield's ears. Mike Tyson didn't give a fuck, dog. That's why people go with Mike Tyson. But I don't want Roy to take too much damage. I don't think at this point with an exhibition bout, we can't, it's no way either fighter is going to take a lot of damage. I think they're going to play to the crowd. They're going to carry it over, showboat a little bit. Of course, you're going to showboat a little bit, 8-round fight. And I think it's going to be more so like one of those how the basketball have the superstar, the game with the superstars, all the superstars in it. And they just play around, and then around the third quarter, they really start getting with it. I think they're going to carry over a little bit. And, around the 4th and 5th round, you might start to see them land some shots. Now, I don't think the referee who's going to be in charge, the third man in the ring, I don't think he's going to allow them, either man, to take too much punishment. Period. I just don't see it happening. Like the movie with Stallone and De Niro, they probably getting paid bank. I believe they're going to get paid very well, very comfortably. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the All-Star game. That's how much boxing's fell off for me. But, I look at it like the All-Star game, for instance. They're gonna carry the crowd. They're gonna get it hyped up. They're gonna be showboating a little bit. Of course, both fighters going to give us their vintage, the way they used to look, give us flashes. Of course, it's going to be Mike Tyson side to side lateral movement and how he's able to shift direction so easily on the inside. And people are always going to think about that body shot uppercut. That body shot uppercut. Mike Tyson has some brutal body shot uppercuts, dog. It'll make you go to the freaking bathroom just looking at that shit. And then, you know, the hooks of Roy Jones, so quick, flash. I think one fight, man, Roy Jones threw like how many damn hooks that he throw like back to back, like 7. I mean, shit. Like that shit was the blink of an eye. So the flashes of both fighters, man, is going to play a significant role in this exhibition bout. It's supposed to be an exhibition bout, but I believe it's going to turn up at one point in time. I really don't want to see either fighter land out on the canvas, and then they say, "Oh, Fred, let's cut through a commercial, please." You know what I'm saying? I really don't want them going to a commercial, dog, because one of them got laid out under the lights. H Money in the building. Salute, man. What's good? Y'all be sure to go subscribe to my man channel, man. Show him some love over there. H Money, Mr. The Zone in the building. How'd you say that's the only game I watch in hockey and baseball because it's action? Yeah, but you know, I think people are gonna be pretty shocked. And I think some of the boxers that's contending PPV wise have to understand that Tyson and Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. are gonna have a point in there where they're gonna suck up some of that monetary revenue. Definitely. Some of that's gonna go, you know, at the fork in the road, and that left is gonna be Mike Tyson and Roy Jones, when it could have been solely for the Charlo brothers that's competing that same month. Yeah. Yeah, they have to think about it. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be PPV, no gate. They have to think about it. Just like what Floyd Mayweather did before, you know, the Oscar. He just showed Oscar, yeah, I'm still petty, Oscar. I'm still fucking petty. I'm going to put this fight on right here. I know you got Canelo and Gennady. I don't care. And he put on the fight, and it did good numbers. So I'm pretty sure Floyd knew it was gonna deplete some of the revenue that would have generated with Canelo and Gennady Golovkin, man. Mike Tyson is too big for Roy Jones. Yeah, Mike Tyson will be. I said earlier, Mike Tyson will be the bigger heavyweight. It ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Mike Tyson has some logs for legs. And also, everyone knows the picture that's been out there forever and a day. When Mike Tyson took a picture, somebody took a picture of his neck. Man, his neck looked like a tree stump, y'all. Like you saying to yourself, like, how the fuck can somebody get knocked out? And Mike Tyson had a solid chin. Man, you got to give Mike Tyson credit. He took some punches from some big dudes, some taller fighters, and he didn't go down. You just can't look at the time he was partying and he had the hose over, doing cocaine and shit like that. And Buster Douglas came in there, and he was what? It was one of the largest spreads for underdog. And Mike Tyson was probably told, "Hey, Mike, you don't have to train for Buster. You don't have to train for this dude. Just go in there and do what you do, Mike." When Buster got his ass off the canvas, Mike probably said, "Oh, shit, man." You know, he looked over to his corner. He's like, "Man, come on, bro. What the fuck? I'm going to knock your ass out after this. If I don't make it out this motherfucker with my hands raised, I'm coming for your ass." That's what Mike Tyson told his motherfucking corner, dog. This motherfucker just got up. Mother had passed. He had extra motivation. Buster Douglas stood the fuck up and goddamn put his name in history. Put his name in fucking history, y'all. He came back and stopped Mike Tyson. The knockout heard all around the motherfucking world, y'all. But people have to give Mike Tyson credit. This dude used to have a goddamn chin, y'all. He had a damn good chin. Period. We're not talking about the Lennox Lewis. We're not talking about Buster Douglas. We know if Mike Tyson would have been able to train effectively without distractions, know how to control the women that was outside the ring, be entirely focused, having a solid support system around him, this motherfucker could have been even more of a Goliath than he already is in the state of boxing as a bona fide legend. You know what I'm saying? People already look at damn Mike Tyson as a boxing god. The dude went to prison. He had domestic issues going on, bit off Evander Holyfield's ear. I mean, Mike Tyson was just a savage, man. And for him to still get the love that he get is unbelievable. That's why I tell motherfuckers, I say, you think I'm gonna worry about little petty ass motherfuckers out here? Go be mad at somebody who actually fucked up that you got to be mad at. Mike Tyson actually did some fucked up shit back in the day outside of the ring. And motherfuckers ain't they'll sit online and talk all the shit they want. But when they see Tyson, they be like, excuse me, sir. Will you be so kind to take a picture with me? I think you're a god of boxing. I just think the world of you. Just give me can I take a picture? Do you mind? There, Iron Mike Tyson. But then they online, they're talking about, man, Mike Tyson, man, he was out here, the hardest he punched, he was out here hitting women, went to prison for rape, doing drugs, all this other shit. But what I can say about Mike, I'm glad he's able to recover all the money he lost, the Don King, recover, make a living for him and his family, and give us another exhibition bout to see him in the ring one more time, especially while I'm living. You know what I'm saying? Mike Tyson, he's not that much older than me. He's 54. You know what I'm saying? We're not that far apart, dog. You know what I'm saying? I would love to get in there and spar Mike Tyson. Love it. If it was virtual and I would have a joystick in my hand, yeah, I would love to get in there and spar Mike Tyson. Seriously, if it was virtual. H Money, I think Roy took care of his body more than Tyson. He ain't been on cocaine, smoking weed. Tyson ain't in shape. Now, in that perspective right there, I have to kind of agree with Hodges on that. Just to caveat off of what I just said, cocaine, even though it's one of the most social drugs that people take, you know what I'm saying? It's a psychological drug. I'm talking about the cocaine itself, whatever. And this shit that you can find in the college textbook. Don't be calling me up or dropping me inboxes and shit. Talking about, oh well, can you explain to me, snitch? What exactly you meant by the cocaine? What I'm saying is, just straight cocaine cut or whatever is what a lot of people do socially, and it's a psychological drug instead of physiological. Crack cocaine and all the other shit is a physiological. The chemical in it demands your body. When you don't have the hit, it craves it. You need the hit. So you want more and more of it because there's a lot of synthetic shit in it. But regular cocaine, fighters can go in there and in the past have did cocaine and went in there and fought. They went in there and fought. People get on and off cocaine, whatever. It's a picture out there with Mike Tyson. He has white shit, all over his nose and everything. And he looked fucked up. But when it comes to Roy Jones Jr., you never heard of him doing drugs like that. Never. You never heard of him, being outside the ring, having fuck ups, being an alcoholic. None of that shit. So when it comes to taking the body, I agree with Hodges on that. I think definitely Roy Jones is taking care of his body. He wasn't hot boxing. Mike Tyson, even though he, it's fun to watch him smoke and all that and be all calm, weed still goes to the lungs, y'all. Smoking weed still has an effect on the lungs. You have to get back in the gym and start conditioning your lungs. But guess what? We don't know how much weed Mike Tyson was smoking a day. We don't know the THC factor that was in there. You know what I'm saying? We just don't know how long he was actually smoking weed. He's been out the ring since what, 05? Come on. He has his own damn marijuana dispensary. Mike probably, when he get there, it's probably freaking blunts rolled up for him just so he can taste different shit. You know what I'm saying? Shit, that's Mike, man. Mike can do what the fuck he want to do, dog. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, man, we get to see these motherfuckers back in the square, heavy back in to the 2020 calendar of Roy Jones and Mike Tyson. The boxing gods sent us a blessing, no doubt about it, people. No fucking doubt about it. The boxing gods sent us a blessing on this one. And man, I can't wait. I'm definitely paying for the PPV. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm definitely paying for the PPV. Real talk. I gotta see it. I gotta see it. And if it's that good, you know, I might go to a sports bar or something and check out Charlo Brothers. You know, I might go there and check out the Charlo Brothers. You know, I might go eat some wings or something and check out Jamal and Jamel. You know what I'm saying? See if Darian Chinko can get that upset. You know, see if Jason Rosario, for all the people who think he's soft and cashing out, he might go in there and goddamn put a hurting on Jamel. We don't know. But, you know, the way the Lions Only was talking on a recent video, they're going to do, hey, look, they on the card again. They're going to try to go, what, 2-0. You know what I'm saying? Last time it was 1-1. Tony Harrison with the upset. And then older Charlo, Jamal had to come out there and handle business. So now they both have a championship fight coming up again. This time, Jamel, believe it or not, he holds more weight because his fight is a unification bout. And it's going to be a big freaking deal. Like I said before, I don't think Jason Rosario is he didn't show that energy that, you know, after he went in there and defeated Julian Williams. He didn't show that Charlo energy. He didn't seem like he wanted to face Charlo. And then all of a sudden, J-Rock is out the question. Now, boom, the bomb drops and he's facing damn Jamel Charlo. I don't think he's ready. It's kind of giving me that vibe of Charles Martin when he faced Anthony Joshua. It's kind of giving me that Andy Ruiz in the rematch against Anthony Joshua. It's giving me that cash out. It's giving me that cash out feeling that Jason Rosario is about to come off these motherfucking titles. That's what I think. Remember LT from the Johns, he did cocaine before the game. He injured people, facts. Cocaine, a hell of a drug, James Voice. Hey, LT said the same thing. LT said cocaine's a hell of a drug. You know what I'm saying? LT, man, one of my favorite football players of all time. Lawrence Taylor. One of my favorite football players, straight up beast. But man, you know, what's going on, Lawrence? What's good with you? Salute. Appreciate you stopping in. But to take none away from the Charlo brothers, y'all, we've been waiting for them to step up in competition. Both of them are stepping up in competition, so to speak. I think more so Darian Chinko with Jamal Charlo than Jamel Charlo with Jason Rosario. That's all. Because I believe Jason Rosario performed at the highest level when he stopped Julian Williams. Okay. Many circumstances, I don't know if Julian Williams was 150% that night. I don't know. But he was stopped. So now Jason Rosario, I don't know if he's ready to go in there and give us a solid outing, competitive outing versus Charlo. I'm just getting this vibe that, is he really ready for Jermell Charlo? Is this going to be a cash out for him and he's going to go about his business? Or maybe we see a fight that we wasn't expecting and he give Jermell Charlo a go. You know what I'm saying? He give him a very competitive 12-rounder. We really want to see that. You know what I'm saying? We know he was the bigger fighter in there against J-Rock, Jason Rosario. But will he be able to, handle that pressure that Jermell Charlo is going to put on him? Is he going to be able to handle the pace? And, of course, can he handle the power? Can Jermell Charlo handle Jason Rosario's power if he's affected by some of the power shots Rosario? We don't know. We don't look at Rosario as a power puncher just because he stopped J-Rock. You know what I'm saying? Because J-Rock's been stopped before. But we want to know does he have legitimate punching power when it comes to an opposition like Jermell Charlo. That's all I'm saying. I talked earlier about that. He gave a small nugget that news was coming at the end of the week, and he was right. News did come at the end of the week, and he put it out there. It's almost at the end of the video, and he put it out there. He said news is coming at the end of the week, and it's out now. It's out. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we at right now. But I'm not going to get too hyped up on the Charlo brothers right now. Again, I'm pretty sure that debate was pretty damn extensive. The last live I did. What I want to what was the last one that I wanted to say? Yeah, the bantamweight division has some pretty damn good bouts coming up, man. You got Nordine Bali. A lot of people really don't dig that deep into the bantamweight division. But Nordine Bali defeated Rashid Baby Pit Warren for the vacant WBC belt. And, up to from then to now, Nonito Donaire, who's coming off with a Nui, he lost for the unification, but they automatically rotate him just like they did Daryanchenko. He lost for the unification against Nui. He go next door to the WBC. Now they gave him a second shot against Obali. The fight was canceled for COVID-19. Now it's back in full effect, and they're going to be fighting at the end of the year. So keep your eye out for Obali versus Donaire in that division. And also, it's going to come back around a Nui versus Casemiro, John Real Casemiro for a unification bout. So, if a Nui goes in here and Casemiro, he's a pretty solid fighter, Filipino fighter. He goes in here and defeat a Nui, he on top of the world in the bantamweight division, for a little bit. He on top of the world. The only other strap that'll be out there is WBC. It's somewhat like what's going on in the lightweight division. You know what I'm saying? If by chance, who I'm going for is Teofimo Lopez, Teofimo, IBF champion, he go in there and defeat Vasily Lomachenko. The only thing that's going to be left as super titles is going to be Devin Haney. And we all know if Teofimo decides to stay around and fight Devin Haney, which I don't think so, I'd be hard pressed to see if, Devin Haney then will want that fight or the money will be right. I don't know. I don't know how to even gauge it. But if Teofimo wins and defeat Vasily Lomachenko and then turns around and say, I'm going to stay at 135 to try to get the fight with Devin Haney, people tune in for that fight. It'll do very good numbers. And guess what? Win or lose, Teofimo was a unified champion at 135. And it gives two fighters the opportunity where they picked up their championship to become undisputed at 135 if the boxing gods work their magic. Can you think about Devin Haney fighting for the dang undisputed titles at 135? Teofimo Lopez fighting for the undisputed titles. If he indeed defeat Vasily Lomachenko, it'll be amazing, y'all. That should be fucking amazing. And then, of course, It's been said a long time that Teofimo Lopez is moving up to 140. Guarantee it. Guarantee it. He's moving up to 140. It's all about, a matter of fact, when he's moving. He defeats Vasily Lomachenko. He might say, you know what, I'm vacating the titles. I'm going up to 140. I'm not waiting around for Devin Haney, because right now, without a crowd, we may not be able to see that fight. And there's no way Teofimo is waiting around at that division for the money to be right and for the fans to come see it. He's not doing it. He's going to move up to 140. And it's going to be a good thing for him. I like Teofimo moving up to 140. I like him in the future. See him in 147. I truly believe Teofimo Lopez will be a 3-division champion for 135, 40, and 47. He's very young in the game, y'all. He's very young in the game. And look, we might have the opportunity while we living to see Shakur Stevenson catch up. Shakur Stevenson on the hunt, 130, 35, 40. Hey, I hope a lot of these top tier names, these high ranking fighters, are still at the lightweight division once Shakur get up there. And not to mention Gary Russell. I still don't know what Gary Russell, like his POA right now, his plan of attack. I'm waiting for some name to link up with Gary Russell so we can see him back in the ring, man. I don't know. But shout out to them Russell brothers, man. Antonio, Antoine, them Russell brothers, man. Serious. Yeah, Nui. He went the distance with Donaire. And just like boxing fans, they start to write the man off. He won. But the older Donaire went the distance with Nui, so they was like, Nui ain't that, he ain't the monster. He ain't that exciting. Man, come on, bro. Nui can box, but that comes with the sport of boxing. You know what I'm saying? He's a multi-division champion already. So he get this unification bout with Casemiro, and then depending on that, how that turns out, he might be able to rotate around and fight O'Bali and become undisputed. We'll see how that works. But you cannot forget, there's another guy by the name of Rigondeaux that has dropped down to bantamweight division, man. He holds, I think, a gold title, a regular title, or whatever. So he's there. And I remember reading an article that Rigondeaux said he don't think the top guys would take a risk and fight him. I don't know about that, because his last fight when he picked up the title, he didn't look astounding. Rigondeaux looked good, like he was pivoting out to his right with the check right, check hook. He was pivoting out. And he did that numerous of times because his opponent was trying to keep pressure on Rigondeaux and tire him out. So I'm saying to myself, like, I'm pretty sure some people will fight you if they feel that it's beneficial. But right now, you have a process that's going on. You have Casemiro, Anui, and O'Bali. All those champions at the top. And the plan is to fight one another for unification. And that's what we have, Anui and Casemiro next, I believe, coming down on the schedule. And in December, I mean, not this year, but sometime in the schedule rotation. And then we have, in December, we have O'Bali and Donaire. So we'll see how that happens. What's going on, Everett? Salute to you, man. I wanted to mention something that Mike Tyson has said, already, right? Just touching back and forth. Mike Tyson is making a point that Roy Jones Jr. will have to deal with what we're used to seeing from Mike Tyson. And that is one gear. You know what I'm saying? That gear is full speed ahead. And that's what I'm about. I'm fully committed to the attack, and that's what the fuck you're gonna see. That's Mike Tyson. And He's basically saying that Roy Jones is going to have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? And I don't blame him. But when it comes down to his conditioning, I don't freaking know what his conditioning like. What is Mike Tyson's conditions going to be to keep that gear up, to keep that pace up? Is he just talking? You know, because the video out there, you know, round 1 and 2, we might see Mike Tyson go out there and do what Mike Tyson does. But he had that gear back in the day. Okay, he had that gear back in the day. Let's be honest. You know? What's going on, Junior? How you feel, man? He said, I'm thinking Roy Jones Jr. has good chance to win. Okay, so one person in the chat is for Roy Jones, and the other person, they mentioned Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? So we have a variety of selection on who's going to win. I get it. But appreciate that input, though. But yeah, you know, Mike Tyson, let me try to find that article Mike Tyson was talking about, because they already opened up, of course, Iron Mike Tyson as the betting favorite over Roy Jones. That's already opened up. And to be honest, I'm not going to bet no money on it with anybody. I'm just not going to do it, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm just not going to do it, man. Let me go to the quote. Let me see. Tyson So Tyson was on ESPN, joining ESPN First Take, right? With Max Kellerman to begin promoting the fight. He said, we're both accomplished fighters. We know how to take care of ourselves. We'll be all right. Trust me, said Tyson. I'm looking to be 100% of Mike Tyson in the ring. I'm a neophyte and taking it easy. A neophyte is a novice, a beginner. So he's a neophyte and taking it easy. I don't know how to do it that way. I am one speed forward. I don't know. Roy's just going to have to deal with that. So basically what he said, I'm a novice to taking it easy. I don't fucking know what taking it easy mean. That's what Mike Tyson's saying. I get what he's saying, man. You know what I'm saying? It said Tyson said the event will take place under the umbrella of a new company he's launching. So it kind of gives you a feel of where this is going. It's under a new company he's launching in Legends Only League. Legends Only League. An entity co-owned by the Eros Innovations, a venture creation group. Tyson was motivated to start the league to give stars of yesteryear a second lease on engaging competition through all kinds of sport. That's good business venture. You know, legends is according to how old the legends are and who and when were they labeled or titled a legend. I'm curious to know outside of the boxing ring, how's this going to work? But to the boxing, yeah, a lot of people can call a lot of people legends. You know what I'm saying? It's easy when it comes to the sport of boxing, okay? But it's a little bit difficult when it comes to other collective sports. You have to factor in the championships and all this other shit. A whole different mindset. Mike Tyson goes on to say, the fact is, we live in different lifestyles. Being the greatest, said Tyson. I never took that many punches. Tyson said, I never took that many punches. I retired. I lived my life. I've been through some experiences and now I'm back. I feel that I took care of my body and state of mind better than most fighters that retired before me and came back. It's going to be amazing. I'm looking forward to it. You didn't take Mike Tyson. You took your share of punches. You took your share of punches, Mike. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it might not be as many as some other people, but you know, Mike Tyson said he took care of his body, and you know, he's giving you that marijuana. He said, I feel that I took care of my body in the state of mind better than most fighters. I guess when he was doing that frog, and he say it took him to a place of like he went to the heaven gates or something. He had this out of body experience. You know what I'm saying? This euphoric that he couldn't really explain without that frog, that psychedelic frog that he took, that somebody had him smoke. Go to his podcast. He talks about that shit. He goes on to say, it's just because I can do it. And I believe other people, they can do it too. I'm pretty sure they can. I feel I can do it, Mike. Come on now. He said, just because I'm 54, it doesn't mean that I have to start a new career and our life is totally over. Not when you feel as beautiful as I do. I'm sure other people feel the same way. Mike Tyson, speaking of that carefree type of attitude now that he's in a better place. I feel it. I feel what he's saying, man. He's talking very calm. He's talking relaxed, like he's competent, in control of his actions, He goes on to say, the rules in California are not that we must wear headgear, said Tyson. We're there to show our skills and we're fighting. This is what I learned in boxing when I was a young boy. When you sign that contract, there's an unwritten clause in there that can die at any moment doing training or fighting. That's true. That's true. They can move around and make some money, but I told them if you get cut, it's over, said Foster. And from what I'm gathering right now, Andy Foster is the executive director for the California State CSAC, California State Athletic Commission. So Andy Foster is executive director, and he basically said Tyson and Jones Jr. won't be wearing headgear for the fight. They'll be lacing up with 12-ounce gloves, and there won't be any judges present at the fight to score the action. No judges present. No judges. No judges present at the fight to score the action. So technically, there won't be a winner unless a knockout somehow occurs or either fighter is deemed unfit to continue. So that right there, people, kind of gives you the reality that there's no judge is going to be ringside. So one is only determined if there's a knockout, of course. You know what I'm saying? Or a fighter is unable to continue. Is the possibility of that happening? Yeah, it is. It's a possibility of one of these fighters not being able to continue. It's a possibility one of these fighters can get knocked out. But out of respect, I'd be hard-pressed to think that one of them going to get knocked out. So this when Foster, the executive director of the California State Athletic Commission, he said this earlier. They can move around and make some money, but I told them, if you get cut, it's over. So he's really taking into consideration if one of them get cut, the fight is over. So that tells you a little bit more. They're going to try to carry the rounds, like I said. You're probably going to see some body work. Then, going to be a whole lot of fainting, a lot of feints. They're just going to give whoever, give the PPV fans a little show. Make it seem like it's a more valued sparring session early on. Go through the rhythm, the motion, try to make it look as authentic as possible, people. They talk about when Roy Jones was supposed to fight Tyson. Is that during the early part of the century, Jones Jr. and Tyson were supposed to fight while they were still at the peak of their powers. And when Jones Jr. had a version of the heavyweight title in 2003, when he beat John Ruiz. And I always explain this to people. John Ruiz was not the first Mexican heavyweight. I hate telling casuals that shit. They said, well, John Ruiz he wasn't. He wasn't. They say now the dream match would take place 17 years later. in what should be a choreographed contest. They telling you a lot in this article, a choreographed contest. And that's what I mean by fame, showboating, just giving you a little bit of, the flashbacks that both fighters possessed when they was actively competing at the peak of their career. That's what we're looking forward to. Let me see what else in this article. They say anybody whose society say they are too old or over the hill but still have it in them, come with us, Tyson said in a promotional video announcing his new venture. Get your agent, get your manager, and come get with me, and you'll be living your glory years for the second time. We polishing old stars and making them shine again. Now, the only thing I have to say about him, inviting people over to join this second livelihood in the sport of boxing, is that not everybody's going to have that Mike Tyson motivation to get back in there and drop that weight and really give the fans something that they're looking for. You know what I'm saying? Like, convince us that you're in fucking shape. When Mike Tyson put that freaking video out, we're like, oh shit, Mike Tyson looking like a beast in this motherfucker. Okay. He had some good short clips in there, some flash shots, and it was looking good. The cameraman did his job. Nice sound effects. I mean, he was goddamn throwing them hooks to the body. Nice mitt holder. The mitt holder knew the routine. And then you had my boy Evander come out. He was running down the street like this. I was like, nah, Mike Tyson won the video of the old heads. I know Evander Holyfield 57. I know. But, I'm just putting it out there like, I'm just putting it out there like, when Mike Tyson came out with his video, that shit was crucial, dog. The mitt holder was flying all over the place and shit. I was like, man, why don't somebody goddamn slow this shit down? But the video was crucial, man. So that's going to bring a lot of people to tune in to see this fight. And going over the bullet points, all right, there will be no judges, all right? No judges at all. The fight will be stopped via knockout, or if a fighter cannot or unable to continue. You know what I'm saying? Andy Foster, the executive director, it basically said that if a fighter get cut, then guess what? It's over. It's over. Let me read the last. That's it. No. Anyone who would like to perform and can pass a medical exam, I would like to see them on the Legends Only League. Once again, the LOL, Legends Only League Tour, he said. So, this is going to be something that's a tour, y'all. Keep your eye out. I don't know how much the price tag is going to be per tour, or it's going to be something that deals with a small, minute gathering. But I'm not sure this tour will host a PPV card every stopping point. I don't see that happen. The people who society say are overage and washed up have a bigger fan base than fighters and players playing now. The name of the game is to get our fans excited to see us again. Now, that last sentence that he just said, the name of the game is to get our fans excited to see us again. That's fair. That's absolutely true words right there. I agree with that. We're excited to see Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. We're absolutely excited to see this shit. And they're going to be promoting a 10-part documentary series, bi-weekly shows on the platform. So hell yeah. They're going to have musical performances. Triller is back by such entertainment like Snoop Dogg, Lil Wayne, Future, The Weeknd, Pitbull, and one can assume some of the artists will be involved in various capacities. So, hey, y'all strike y'all calendars, man. It's coming. It's coming big time. So that's a little in and out of what Mike Tyson, and once again, salute to Mike Tyson for bringing the Legends Only League back Something deal with the old heads. It's some guys, to be honest, I don't want to see them back in there. I don't want to see them. I don't want to see them. And I don't think a lot of these old school legends are going to have the I don't know, the fire. You know, Mike Tyson, he was like the front runner to get back in there and drop weight and put the video out there. You know what I'm saying? Because that's Mike Tyson. And for him to do this at his age and been out the ring as long as he have, then you got to look at it like, will everybody have that same fire? I know some legends I want to mention, but I don't want to mention them in a way that's disrespectful. But I don't think they will have the fire to get back in shape and drop that. That takes a lot of mental discipline, y'all. You know, I don't want to see Riddick Bowe in there. I don't want to see Riddick Bowe come back. I don't, man. I don't. I don't want to see some of these fighters that may need the paycheck, but seriously out of shape. They over 300 pounds. Seriously out of shape. I don't want to see that. I think Ray Mercer, the last time I seen him in South Carolina, still looking good shape. He's still looking damn good shape, man. Even Jerry Cooney. Listen, I seen Jerry Cooney shadow boxing in the MGM Grand. Man, Jerry Cooney ain't a small dude. Like, I don't consider myself a small dude, but Jerry Cooney isn't a small dude, man. And at his age right now, man, seeing him shadow box, I was like, damn. I think Jerry Cooney may indeed, if somehow, some way, I think we might see Jerry Cooney do this Legends. Mark my word. I think, man, dude's in pretty good shape. And not to mention now, Lennox Lewis. We got to see Lennox Lewis stop through, along with Vander Holyfield. We got to see these guys. I'm not sure if James Toney going to want to jump in here and give us a little bit of that flavor, lights out. But yeah, man, one thing I didn't see in this whole article, I'm not sure what weight classes, you know what I'm saying? Because we really don't want a significant weight difference. So if it's not going to be any judges, you got to pass medicals. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a weight disparity. You know what I'm saying? But you can't have a guy that's around the heavyweight limit, but when he used to fight, he used to be super middle or middleweight. It's going to have to be some type of determination there, some type of restriction to make it fair. You can't be getting these names up here that fought junior middleweight, and that's what the fans remember them as doing. But now they're sitting well in the 200s in the heavyweight division, but yet you're bringing them back as if they're fighting in their last weight class. That's something I didn't see in the article. So right now it's looking like a heavyweight deal, but Tyson said Legends Only League. We'll see, man. We will absolutely see. And shout out to boxing scene, man. I gotta cite the article. I respect. For those of you Billy Joe Saunders fans, you know what I'm saying? The man who had his title removed and was just on a tear of being an absolute mischievous knucklehead. They fined him 15,000 euros. And the last time he made that video, they stripped him of his license. But listen, people, always remember, when they strip these boxers of their license, it don't mean shit unless you did something really fucked up. So let me get down to the nitty gritty. Son said the video was okay. Billy Joe Saunders said the video was intended as a joke and apologized for it. But it was the latest several bad taste social media postings he made. In 2018, he was fined 100,000 euros by the BBBOC, British Boxing Board of Control, bringing the sport into a disrepute after social media posts showing him offering a woman crack cocaine in return for hitting a passerby. I'm not gonna get into Carissa Shields stuff, but Saunders had been expected to be in the ring with Saul Canelo Alvarez on May, but the fight was scrapped because of the coronavirus, and he refused a lower offer for the fight in September. So his suspension has been removed, of course, because it was a non-physical. It was just somewhat being rambunctious. You know what I'm saying? Just being stupid, idiotic. But they fined him and removed the suspension. So soon enough, he's going to be able to reapply for his license, and he's going to be back in the shoot. You know what I'm saying? Junior say Billy Joe is super fun to watch. If he's out in the streets, okay. I mean, doing what Billy Joe do, talking shit. I ain't mad at him for doing that. But as a fighter, I would like to see him keep it in the ring and bring most of that energy back into him as a fighter. That's what I want to see. All that other bullshit he doing, nah, that's irrelevant to what boxing is about. I'm pretty sure he learned the lesson. Skip Crumpler in the building. What's good, man? I didn't see you over there, Skip. Salute to Skip Crumpler, the box father in the building. You know, stand-up guy, man. Been in the sport of boxing forever and a day, man. Got mad respect for Skip Crumpler. Real talk. I don't know how many fights we've been at. I don't know, but goddamn it, Skip. Maybe one day I'll be able to get that interview so I can go ahead and finish this article. Because Skip, man, shit, a legend in the game, man. But I haven't been, every time I try to get this damn interview about the intricate role that he plays in the sport, he's too damn busy. People be having Skip bring like 15 fighters to the motherfucking fight card, dog. Oh, shit. Skip B got there, have his hands full trying to take care of them cats, man. God damn, man. I don't see how you did it, bro. I ain't gonna lie, but you the man, bro. Salute. But that's where we at. Let me see if there's anything else that I missed. You know, talking about that shit with Billy Joe Sanders. And give a shout out to Edgar Berlanga. Man, Edgar Berlanga went in there and scorched Eric Moon in one round. Eric was able to land a two-punch combination right out the gate and maybe about 2 to 3 jabs. But when Berlanga closed the door, he shut it behind him. It was a wrap. You know what I'm saying? He shut down. It was an early night, and he went the fuck home in dominating fashion. He knocked out Eric Moon with ease, shot that uppercut vicious. And dude is 14 wins, 14 knockouts. You know, I mean, you got these fighters with these knockout records. You have Arthur Bellavieve that's sitting up there at 15-0, 15 knockouts. You have Elvis Rodriguez that was on that card. He's now 8-0, 8 knockouts. You know, you're getting these fighters with these knockouts that equal. I mean, it looks good. I'm not gonna lie, it looks good. But you still have to continue to improve yourself and everything else that goes along with that. Let me get this out the way. Mike Tyson opened up his betting odds. I really don't get in the money aspect of this betting odds shit. I don't know, but I'm gonna read it off for you, the supporters. They say that with news of the exhibition match taking place between the legendary former champs, odds maker like the 54-year-old Tyson's to come out on top, the former undisputed heavyweight champion has opened an eye-catching -350 betting favorite. Bet 350 to win back an additional 100. by bettonline.ag for their meeting, which is due to take place September 12th at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. So, of course, Jones opened up at a plus 275. Underdog. Bet 100 to win back an additional 275. Bet 100 to win additional 275. Now, this is, okay, for the spectacle for which both retired boxers will wear 12-ounce glove and so forth. The only thing about the betting odds is that the fighters can determine, really, they can dictate who's going to win in a different way. As you just heard me read off the other article, it basically says that it's not going to be any judges around. It's just going to be the third man in the ring, and that's it. So therefore, when it comes down to 7th or 8th round, if it makes it that far, is a referee gonna put up the hand of Mike Tyson because he has this Legends Only League and to keep the shit going? Because to be honest with you, I can't see Mike Tyson losing this fight if it's his league. That's just common fucking sense. I don't see Mike Tyson losing his first fight back, and he's pushing this tour and he's bringing back the legends. I don't see it. I'm just using common sense when it comes down to this betting shit. It ain't no fucking way. I don't see Mike Tyson losing his first fight. And he's really pushing this entire effort to bring legends back and go on a tour and get them back in the ring. So unless we're missing something, I mean, when you have your own league and you're starting this up, hey, common sense would tell me that Mike Tyson's going to win this fight against Roy. Period. So for the betting favorites, I don't see how you would benefit on determining a winner, you know, when actually, you know, the regularity comes down to judges, the results, and the scorecards being submitted. Now there's not going to be any judges. And, you know, the executive director had mentioned that if it's a cut, the fight's going to be stopped. So you have so many freaking variables out there that's going to happen to determine this win. If a fighter cannot continue, if a fighter is knocked out, and if a fighter is cut, go ahead and bet your money. Do what you got to do. Skip say we'll get the interview, man. Hey, I hope so, Skip. You know, we got to, man. I have to get you while you're still active. Look, you're not as active right now because boxing is starting back up just a little bit. I got to get you before, you know, they start sending the crowds back and they say, hey, we can have you at 50% capacity. That's when I know they're gonna start getting on the phone with Skip, saying, Skip, we need 25 fighters. We want to hit this thing out with a but. We need you to goddamn bring 25 fighters, Skip. We need you to double up 25 heads. I don't care how you get them here. You know, rent 3 buses. You know what I'm saying? Just get 25 fighters here. You know what I'm saying? That's all we need. I know you can do it, Skip. Get 25 fighters. Shit. That shit is crazy, man. Yeah, man, we'll make it happen, Skip, for sure. We're going to make it happen. We definitely going to make it happen. That's on the real. We're going to make that shit happen. But appreciate everybody for stopping through. You know what I'm saying? I'm really looking forward to this. Hopefully I was able to break down a little bit of a bit more clarity as to how this fight is going to play out. You know, like I said before, if Mike Tyson is starting this league up for legends, I don't see him losing. But that's not to say that I want to, you know, rain on the parade. It's obvious that Mike Tyson is going to be the bigger fighter. But we all know that he's been out the ring for quite some time. We can go in there and we can see Mike Tyson get dropped. You know, lighter means faster in certain circumstances, right? So, you know, Roy Jones potentially can move around and pop the jab out there and everything. But like Mike Tyson said, back then he had one gear. In his mind right now, Mike Tyson says he has one fucking gear. He still believes he has that gear. Mike Tyson still believes he has that gear. And I'm pretty sure Roy Jones believes he has gears too. I'm pretty sure of it. But with 12-ounce gloves, I'm curious to see if either fighter will land flush, who falls and who stands. That's it. Taking the knee, okay, that's all good. But you already been told. I'll let you know what the circumstances were. Straight from the executive director himself. No judges will be grading this fight. So go ahead and bet all the money you want. But if it goes the distance, I'm pretty sure the referee is going to sit up here and raise Mike Tyson's hand. I don't see Roy Jones defeating Mike Tyson in a league that he's creating to go on a tour in the first fight back. I just don't see it, people. I don't see it. I just can't sit up here and commit myself to believe that's going to happen. That's what I think. I'm not trying to, put a damper or a cloud over anybody who believes this might be a damn good competitive fight. But when they put it out there, there'll be no judges. Zero, nada, zilch, absent. And a fighter can win by a cut. When the other fighter's cut, the fight will be stopped, right? So once again, paying attention to detail. So if the executive director say if a cut happens, he's stopping the fight, you can't go to the scorecards because it's no judges there. So what are we going to do? How are you going to sit up here and have a grade? How are you going to refer to a grading system that is not even actively there on that night? So if a fighter get cut in the third round, who's going to basically justify the winner? The referee? Are you going to just, whatever I saw, let me say, I remember Roy did this in this round and Mike Tyson. If you're not going to have a judges ringside and a fighter get cut in the third, fourth round, in reality, the fourth round, it gets stopped. It usually go to the scorecards, right? So in this particular case, no judges. So who's going to dictate the winner? Who? Somebody let me know who's going to do the shit. It's so many intricate details that's a bit foggy when it comes down to having a legitimate winner come out of, this fight. You know what I'm saying? That's all. You got to look at it that way. Like if you're going to say the fight's going to be stopped for a cut, how are you going to determine a winner? How? If a fighter gets stopped, I just say a fighter get dropped. And gauging how old they are you going to allow them to recover? Are you just going to look at the impact for which they was knocked down or whatever, and then you're going to make your own assessment whether the fight can continue? H Money said Virgil Ortiz is fighting tomorrow. 15 wins, 15 knockouts. The zone. He is absolutely, Virgil Ortiz is on deck tomorrow. And you know what? When it comes down to the 15 wins, 15 knockouts, once again, a stellar record. We're still looking forward to see Virgil Ortiz back in the square. Hey, H, are you reporting on that tomorrow? Are you reporting on that? Because I think Virgil Ortiz is facing Samuel Vargas. If I'm not mistaken, he's facing Samuel Vargas. But yeah, Virgil Ortiz is, they had to weigh in and everything. He's facing Samuel Vargas on the zone. I'm pretty sure a lot of people who are supporting the zone and looking forward to some of those zone fighters are looking forward to this. Samuel Vargas, if I'm not mistaken, has double the fights of Virgil Ortiz. He has like 30-something victories and I think five some defeats. I'm not sure. But it's a 12-round fight for that belt that everybody Some people have their own criticism as to who Virgil Ortiz fought to get up to that WBA gold title. That's just keeping it 100. I think it was one of those pathways that was, come on, man. Welcome to the zone where the champions fight and watch great fighters like every night. Man, keep that ATL hook for ATL. You know what I'm saying? Keep the ATL hook. Don't disrespect the Jermaine Dupri like that. You know what I'm saying? Good freestyle though. But it's only one. Welcome to Atlanta, where the players play and the strippers be stripping like every day. Yeah. That's what we used to have down here in the South. I'm pretty sure they back in the strip clubs, but it ain't the way it used to be. But Virgil Ortiz will he's the WBA gold welterweight champion. And a lot of people have very big expectations for Virgil Ortiz in the welterweight division. We won't really know until he's stepping there with somebody of a top tier name. And I don't think Samuel Vargas is that name. Even though he has double the experience and wins, I don't think he's that name. So after he go ahead and disperse Samuel Vargas, then we'll kind of see what the zone has in store for Virgil Ortiz. Trying to goddamn disrespect Jermaine Dupri like that, man, on the classic. That is a classic, H. Jermaine Dupri, that's a classic. Welcome to Atlanta, where the players play. And we headed to the club like every day. Man, y'all don't know Atlanta clubs used to be open down here 10 in the morning. Believe me, I know this. The clubs used to goddamn close just a little bit in the morning. It's a lot of people got married off the Atlanta scene. It's a lot of hotels made money when the clubs stayed open all night. Because you would leave, go to IHOP, get the belly full, go to a hotel, and that's what the rest is what it is, dog. That was the routine. Man, I can't tell you anymore. The clubs used to be so hyped down here, man. You leave the club, go straight and get breakfast. Man, I'm telling you, man, the hotels was on a whole nother level of business back then, you know. And then old girl got thrown through the glass window, and that shit changed everything, man. I remember being in a strip club where they were serving breakfast to the patrons that was still there. They were serving breakfast, y'all. This was like 5:30 in the morning. And I got a butt-naked chick in front of me, a stripper, in there about to get breakfast. You know what I'm saying? Only in the A, man. But that breakfast was good as shit, too. I ain't gonna lie. Skip said, good point, Scott. If a fighter gets cuts, then what? Yeah, I mean, who's gonna determine the winner, man? That's all I'm saying, Skip. Who's gonna determine the winner if it's no judges? Tyson gonna win this fight, man. They say, World Combat Sports, what do you think about the IBO? I think about it. Like, you know, I think about it. It's just like on Menace to Society. You know what I'm saying? When Jada asked old boy, it's like, hey, are you gonna go to Atlanta? Are you gonna go down to Atlanta with me? You know, have you thought about it? He said, I thought about it. You know what I'm saying? The IBO is what it is, man. The only one that has made the IBO famous is Anthony Joshua, dog. Most people talk about, you know, the IBO championship when it comes to Anthony Joshua belts. Listen, when it comes to Anthony Joshua, come on. He holds the WBA, the IBF, the WBO, and the IBO championship. He has 4 titles. Man, get out of here. Don't nobody really care about that IBO title. Don't nobody care. The IBO is like a step cousin to the WBO. Hey, so I've never been to Atlanta and always wanted to go ever since I was a kid. The only warning I give you before you come down here, H, is just like Trick, said. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy the weather and the beaches, which we don't have too many beaches down here. But Trick said, but don't fall in love with my bitches. He said, enjoy the weather and the beaches, but don't fall in love with my bitches. No. Only thing I tell you about coming down here to the ATL, man, just be careful. There's a lot of shit that's going on down here in the A. You know what I'm saying? It's according to what lane you're trying to go. Like the club scene down here is still bumping. The COVID here and there, whatever. It's a lot of entertainment to do down here, whatever. The females, it's like down here in Atlanta, it's probably like 10 to 15, like 10 to 1, 15 to 1, according to where you at. You know what I'm saying? The areas, they're putting the areas, look, they have living areas, newly built subdivisions and condos and all these different plaza areas in the hood. Like it used to be the hood when I was growing up. It used to be crime, everything. These investors came and cleared that shit out and put plaza areas there and built up the motherfucking area. So they have a lot of areas to live. Of course, the closer you go to stay down in the city, the higher the rent and shit gonna be. But it's still affordable. It's still affordable. You know what I'm saying? It's still affordable. I stay in a 1-bedroom trailer. You know what I'm saying? I even put some rims on the trailer too to make it stand out a little bit and shit. Put me a motherfucking fence around this bitch, and stuff like that. Got me 2 bully pups, bully pits. Make it look like shit is real down here in the South. You know what I'm saying? I love my trailer home. You know what I'm saying? Got a trailer home. Put some 15s on it. I even kept it on the wheels because what I want to do is be able to move and relocate when I feel like it. You know what I'm saying? That's what you got to do, bro. Memphis is the worst. When people in Memphis get money, they move to Atlanta. Yeah, we have a lot of transplants down here in the A, man. A lot of transplants. We have a lot of transplants down here in the ATL. It has changed tremendously from when I was growing up. I ain't gonna fucking lie to you. Like when I was growing up, it has changed a lot. And, I still go down where I grew up at. I still like going there. Like they have a lot of soul food restaurants where I grew up. And I'm not gonna lie, like around the neighborhood where I grew up, there are a lot of white people who bought houses around there in that particular area. I remember the first time when I was coming back in the core, I said, this is how clueless I was about how investors and everybody was coming there renovating those houses. Like, number black people used to stay down there in Decatur where I was at, right? So I came down there one time. I saw this white lady walking her dog up the street. I went in the house. I said, Mom, I saw a white lady down there walking the dog. Like, is the neighborhood changing up like that now? Because I was right down the street from Little Vietnam, aka East Lake Meadows, before they tore that shit down. There was a lot of shit that was popping off. Like they had the real trap. They had the real traps when we was going up. One way in, one way out. Period. They tore them motherfuckers down. They put the beams up. Motherfucker was running from the police. They'll drive through the ghetto, and law enforcement wouldn't even go in there because it's a high risk. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's when I saw. That's when I knew the neighborhood was changing, man. I saw this white lady. I was like, she was walking her dog. I was like, where did she stay at? Because when I was living there, it wasn't nothing but one white lady that stayed around the corner, and she ended up dying because she was old. But besides that, man, the neighborhood was just like black everywhere you look. But it's changed so much now. I mean, that shit is unfucking believable, y'all. Unbelievable. You can tell what people came in there, scooped up a house, renovated it, made it different than all the other houses around the block, and they moved somebody in there. Unbelievable. And look, listen, I'll tell anybody that I don't know why blacks don't put back into their neighborhood. I don't know why black investors won't come to a neighborhood like that, turn the house over, renovate it, and move somebody in it. That's unfreaking believable, man. Yep. White people are taking over Los Angeles and moving all the black people out. The white people aren't moving the black people out. The black people aren't, in a position. I can't speak for all my people, but they might not be in a position to sustain that living. I don't know. It's tough to live in Cali. It's tough to live in Cali. It don't matter if you in LA or you better have some money if you're going down Diego. You better have some money if you're going all the way to Diego. You got to have money if you stand on the coastline from freaking Anaheim to the OC to Oceanside, Carlsbad. Look, I'm not even gonna fucking mention Diego down there in La Jolla. That's where the rich people at. You definitely got to have some money in your bank account to stay on that coastline. You definitely got to have that money. Oh, you got to be rich to live in Los Angeles now? Damn. Hey, LA done came up then. LA has definitely came up if that's the case. LA has came up. Seriously. LA has seriously came up. But what I don't understand about California is the fact that they're always jacking the prices up on everything. And it's only because they got the beaches and the weather out there. They don't have to have, look, California can be just as cost effective in living as Atlanta. Seriously. But they're taking advantage of the Mexicans that's out there. If you order any type of shit for your house, just say you have to have your carpet redone, your floors redone, your grass, your landscape, all that. You're going to get Mexican generations of Mexicans that's going to come to there. You're going to go into a store and the shit's going to look like the best store you ever went in California. You get to look at all the samples for your floor, your housing, and you get to pick out your samples. But when the work actually begins, you're going to get a truckload of Mexicans come to your house and do your shit. And that shit's going to be a square. No errors. That shit is going to be on fucking point. I know because they did mine. They getting away. They underpaying these Mexicans because they know how to do the work. But yet when you walk through their doors, they look like a company who has legitimate contractors that's out there working. People who has licenses and all this other shit. But what they do, they get the Mexicans, get them licensed, get the Mexicans that's already on deck to somewhat pick up another group of Mexicans to show them the ropes, and they keep on expanding and branching out. And that's how they get over out there in California. There's no reason why Memorial Day should come around and gas is $4.50. $5. There's no reason for that. There's no reason why the gas should be that fucking expensive in California. But I ain't gonna lie. They have some beautiful beaches out there in some places. I just don't understand why they got, I've seen so many fine ass women out there. I don't know why they got to go out there and burn themselves up in the motherfucking sun, dog. Look, black people, we tropical as shit. But asking us to stay out there in the goddamn sun longer than we have to, it's just not going to happen. But in California, I see so many people out there burning themselves up. I mean, look, most of the sun is going to be there. The sun shows up and remains punctual yearly, right? That doesn't mean you have to go to the goddamn beach and go through the same routine, people, and put suntan oil and all that shit on and go burn yourself the fuck up. You see your skin turning that you can't recover from, but yet you want to continue to go to the beach and burn the fuck up because it looks good. I ain't gonna tell you, it's some fine women out there that fucked up their body sunbathing like that. Fucked it up. Yeah, they got some beautiful women out there in Cali, but you gotta pay to play out there in Cali. You gotta pay the motherfucking play. I grew up in Los Angeles before I left. A lot of white people started moving into the hoods. This was around 2010. I was out there in 2010. I was out there from 05, to be honest. I was out there in 05 staying in Orange County. Real talk. That shit was great. Even though I was staying on base, I never could quite get where when I'm driving off to go to when I was, on my last months or whatever. When I'm driving off to go to work, I see all these guys with surfboards walking towards this little entryway next to the beach and going to surf. I say, it got to the point where I see the same guys, this big group of dudes coming in with surfboards. I say, when the fuck y'all work? So I said to myself, I'm gonna ask them one day. I'll say, damn, when y'all work? And a lot of them, they work at surfboarding companies. They work at night, all that shit. Say, yeah, we surf during the day and we work at night. I don't give a fuck, man. I wouldn't want that job. I wouldn't want to go out there and surf during the daytime. And then again, if they love that shit and they able to go out there and enjoy the beach, okay, so be it, man. But that sun ain't no fucking joke in Cali. Sun is a fucking murderer over there in California. That shit is beautiful, but it does damage to a lot of people, man. It does damage. Look, check this out. You know how people always talk about Jordan's this, Jordan's that. Where I was at, I had to go like a year and a half straight wearing flip-flops. Unless I was on my bike, I wore sandals and shit. My feet didn't even know what a tennis shoe felt like in California. I wore sandals every fucking where I went. Unless I was working out. That's the only time I wore shoes. You know what I'm saying? Common sense. But I wore sandals, man, day in, day out. Day in, day out. But anyway, ATL, man, the dirty South, shawty. That's where we at down here. I mean, shit done changed so much. I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, it's changed a lot up here. You got to be very careful, man. You know, the HIV rate down here is very high. You definitely have to be careful, not just from, like you got to be very selective on the women that you date down here, and you have to make sure their head is on tight, because some of these women be trying to convince the dudes that's absolutely confused on who they want to actually convince them that a woman is who they should be with. If you don't look at the reality shows, and that should make you shake your head and it's like, why is this female trying to convince this motherfucker that a woman is who he needs to be with when he confused? They shouldn't be doing that. They shouldn't be giving that motherfucker an option. You know what I'm saying? If he chooses to do that, let him do that. You should focus on you and get with the guys that's heterosexual that want to be strictly with you. Not all that other bullshit. Get with the one that you know. Don't be trying to convince a dude that you are what they need. A woman is what they need. You can make everything go right. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these women are confused. Look, another thing when I found out shit was changing down here when I was at the club, and these women down here have a checklist for the dudes. I said, listen, I ain't staying down here. I'm up here right now. I'm just driving down. They say, so you're not from here? I say, yeah, I'm down here. I was born and raised, but I'm up here. I'm in the military. And then they'll calm down. They say, oh, okay, cool. Because shit down here in Atlanta has changed. And then that's when I was like, how so? And then they start talking about, all the shit that's been taking place with the Rainbow Coalition and everything else. All the transplants that's moving down here. all that shit. ATL has changed. So you definitely got to be careful and ask the right questions for these women down here, especially in the club, because you might get yourself fucked up. You don't want to get that package. That's real talk. You don't want that package. Be patient down this motherfucker. Real. Be patient. But people, that's all I got for tonight. I didn't mean to go off and goddamn start talking about West Coast, East Coast type of shit. But, you know, it's relevant. You know, a lot of shit is popping off right now. You know, we got other problems that's going down in the ATL. We got a governor that's saying you don't have to wear a mask. You got a mayor that say, oh, I say you do have to wear a mask. Oh, my God, man. It just doesn't make any sense. So right now, a lot of stores that we just was able to go in with no mask, they're enforcing masks in order for you to go in there, which is good. I like it. But boxing shit, shout out to Iron Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. Shout out to the Legends Only League. And like I said before, I truly believe Mike Tyson is going to win this fight because it's his league. And if he's the one that's the front runner and pioneering this particular league to bring back the legends of boxing, I know they said other sports, but we're strictly encompassing it to boxing. I think Mike Tyson is definitely going to win this fight back in September against Roy Jones. But it's good to see both of the fighters in there. Pay to see the fight. It's on PPV. I'm curious to see what the numbers are going to do. You know, we all curious. And of course, you know, like I mentioned, H Money said Virgil Ortiz, 15-0, 15 knockouts. It is what it is, man. He's still unproven in my eyes. So we'll see what he looked like, you know, tomorrow against Samuel Vargas. We'll see what he looked like. Samuel Vargas like 31-5. So we see what the experience looked like. It's a lot riding behind him. And also salute to Edgar Berlanga on that dominating victory, man. Super. Elvis Rodriguez, 8-0, 8 knockouts. Man, be on the lookout for that cat. He got some power. From what it seemed like, dude got some power, dude. I mean, you know what I'm saying? He got some power. So I'm looking to see him continue to improve his competition and everything, man. Who else is in there? You know, Teofimo Lopez, Vasily Lomachenko. They're going to be, I think their bout is even moved to October now. I think that fight is going to happen in October. But we're seeing a little bit more of Teofimo come out the box, Lomachenko come out the box talking some shit. Lomachenko said that, hey, I'll fight you in your own yard. Ain't nobody scared to fight you. I'll fight you in your own yard. And, you know, I believe Vasily. Vasily actually knows mixed martial arts along with boxing too. So he can fight. You know, Vasily can fight. But I truly believe Teofimo Lopez can beat him. I do. I believe Teofimo can beat him. And I do believe that Teofimo has, if he goes in there and he's A1, he can stop Lomachenko. I'm saying it. I believe Teofimo can stop Lomachenko. You know? And of course, the grand creme de la creme match that's either gonna send boxing in the depths of a volcano and shake up the heavyweight division, or you know, we're gonna find out we're gonna be back in a Great Depression with U.S. heavyweight champions for quite a while if Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua is able to fight for the undisputed titles. It's going to be a sad day in heavyweight division. And I think a lot of people are going to be looking forward and mourning. They're going to be up here really pondering the facts like, damn, I should have appreciated Deontay Wilder when he was champion. But when it comes down to that, the whole process right now is getting back in there for the trilogy. Deontay Wilder goes in here and get his belt back. He becomes the two-time world heavyweight champion, right? Now it sets up an ultimate fight between Anthony Joshua. And I'll tell you again, I really don't think Anthony Joshua will ever face Deontay Wilder. I believe he will let one of his titles go and he'll keep a couple. It all deals with the mandatory. I don't think Anthony Joshua will ever step in the ring with Deontay Wilder for the undisputed titles. I just don't think he has the cojones to do that. I don't think so. Even after Tyson Fury defeating Deontay Wilder, Deontay go in there, get his belt back. I don't see Anthony Joshua fighting Deontay Wilder for the undisputed titles, but I do see him fighting Tyson Fury. He has this enamored, feeling about gracing the square with Tyson Fury. And anybody knows that Tyson Fury is a better boxer than Anthony Joshua, period. So if those two was to ever fight, I'm definitely going with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is the better boxer. But, I'm really hoping Deontay goes in there and he's on a whole nother level. He's been off the damn scene of social media for quite some time now. And when it comes down to him returning, whatever he's been working with behind closed doors, I'm pretty sure that shit should be, a vast improvement as far as him working on some shit. Not too much, but working on what he needs to return back to the ring at the end of the year. A lot of people are riding him off, and they say he can't make any changes at this stage in his career. That's untrue. That's not the case. You can't say Deontay Wilder cannot make any changes. I mean, come on. You just praised and gave all the plaudits to freaking Tyson Fury for hiring Sugar Hill and say, oh, he came back and he looked that much amazing. He knocked out Deontay Wilder. But then you're going to say Deontay Wilder at this point in his career, he can't make any changes? Yeah, he can. He just have to be open-minded to receive them, work on them, remediate them, and then apply them once he stepped back in the ring against Tyson Fury at the end of 2020 to get that WBC strap back. I don't have time. Please, H, I don't have time tonight. Put away the violin. I've heard that before. I heard you say that before. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like, the banjo coming out playing the same tune all the time. And, I'm not here to listen to the mariachi, band about Anthony Joshua being a two-time hit. Man, I heard that shit before. And next you're gonna say, well, World Combat Sports, he was the Olympic gold medalist. And once again, I'm gonna tell you, go look at the fight. Anthony Joshua was a two-time. I do you justice by reading your comment. Anthony Joshua was two-time unified champion and Olympic gold medalist, just like I thought. The same violin strings have been popped and freaking rethreaded, popped again, rethreaded, popped again, the same tune. We know Anthony Joshua, how many times he's been the heavyweight champion. We've seen the fight over in Saudi Arabia. A lot of people was forced into the land of Nod watching that fight. Land of Nod is when you nod off. The fight was extremely boring as hell, and the only people was hyped up because Anthony Joshua was winning a lopsided affair because Andy Ruiz brought a pocket full of Snicker bars over to a freaking hot ass country of Saudi Arabia, and the shit melted in his pocket. So Andy Ruiz was dipping his hand down there and just licking his fingers and eating the Snickers out of his freaking pocket. You know what I'm saying? And he came in there all nice and plumped, like it was close to Thanksgiving, and he wasn't even ready to go in there and put on a competitive fight with Anthony Joshua. Two tails of the tape. Tyson Fury ballooned up and came in at 273. He looked like he's supposed to. He looked the part. But Andy Ruiz coming there, ballooned up in weight, and guess what? He looked like a turtle with 3 legs and 2 shells, bro. You know what I'm saying? Going against the current. He didn't even freaking put forth the effort. So, just, man, come on, man. No, don't bring the band out this late, H. Don't bring the band out. I'm not giving away change. I'm not handing out trinkets and pesos and shit for the same language. Let's congratulate the zone being back on deck for H Money. So H Money can feel a little bit warm and fuzzy inside. The zone is returning. I'm not even gonna go through the last comments. I'm not even gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it because I don't have time to hear the banjo play with broken strings again. Look, when you put public record, that does nothing for me. Like public record shit, I want to hear some new stuff. I want to hear some analogies. I don't want to hear public record Google drops, source drops on here. Anthony Joshua's the best heavyweight boxer. Come on, man. Stop with the jokes, dog. Stop with the jokes. I don't want to start roasting Anthony Joshua this late. Seriously, I really don't. It's a lot of ways I can go with roasting Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying? I can start with Vladimir Klitschko, but I'm not going to do it. I'm going to save that shit. I don't want to burn down Anthony Joshua right now, man. I want him to be pretty much, I want them burns, to be pretty healed up by the time he go in there against Kubrat Pulev. I don't want to sit up here and burn this man down, before he step in there and defend his titles again. Because he got them Kubrat Pulev problems to deal with. And then, Tyson Fury has that Deontay Wilder problems to deal with. So that's kind of all I'm looking forward to. And now we ain't talking about that bogus 120 million. It's a waste of time. Nobody's trying to take just because Eddie Hearns made the deal. Not tonight, Shawty. Not tonight. But hey, everybody who tuned in, I appreciate it. D Hodge, H Money, man. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to his channel. Appreciate everyone who stopped in. Denise Ward, MMA Champ Commentary, Joyner, Everett, all them people who tune in. I appreciate it. Turn up and tune in next time to World Combat Sports. Salute.